Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time. I'm going to do our NFL picks and predictions. We're going to look at all of our NFL games we have coming up for week 6 of the 2025 NFL season. We're going to go game by game. We're going to break them all down, look at the spreads, the money lines, the over-unders, and try to predict the outcome for every single game, the winner, the loser, the final score. First things first, though, before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, by all means, drop them below. Let me know who you think is going to win these matchups. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. Week 5, it is almost in the books. As of me making this video, the Sunday night game is wrapping up, and we also have the Monday night game still to happen, so those games haven't concluded yet, but it is never too early to start looking at the next week's matchups. Our very first one we have kicking everything off Thursday night, October 9th, 8:15 p.m., our prime video game. The 4-1 Philadelphia Eagles finally getting their first loss of the season. But guys, they almost fought their way back and won it, but they finally have their first loss. They can put that behind them. They're ready to move on. They'll be playing the 1-4 New York Giants. The Giants coming off of getting a pretty good beating by the New Orleans Saints. That's a pretty bad thing to say. The Eagles in this game, 73.5% chance to win. The New York Giants at home, a 26.3% chance. Eagles are 7-point favorites. The over here is going to be 42.5. The Eagles are looking to rebound with a strong win. The Giants are just trying to get things back on track. They've been shuffling quarterbacks. Whether it was Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, the offense has not been consistently moving the ball. And then when you look at the Eagles, this team, this offensive roster, it is stacked from top to bottom at every single position. And they also have an elite defense. Currently, the Eagles as a team, 25 points a game. Throwing for 161.8, running for 99.8, giving up 21.8 points per game. The Giants only 17.4 points on offense per game, throwing for 203.6, running for 117, giving up 25.4. That number could potentially be lower if their offense could get some first downs and get the defense on the field. The Eagles with Jalen Hurts, 609 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no picks yet, but it's also what he can do with his legs, extending plays. He's always keeping his eye looking down the field because this wide receiver core, it is loaded. Smith, Brown, and they have Barkley at the running back position. Definitely not putting up the numbers he had last year, but he was the best running back in the country last year. Over 2,000 yards rushing, so you know that production is there. They have that defense that they can rely on. The Giants, their top playmaker, Scottaboo's playing well, but their top playmaker is Neighbors. He's obviously out for the rest of the year. So I have the Eagles getting back in the win column. They win this one 27-16. And now moving on to our Sunday games, we have another London game at 9:30 a.m. on the NFL Network. It's an early one. The 3-2 Denver Broncos coming off that win versus the Eagles, one of the better wins of the season for any team. They'll be on the road versus the 0-5 New York Jets. The Jets are just trying to get their first win. They put up a fight versus the Cowboys. They came charging back, but that Cowboys offense was way too much. They can score points in bunches. Cowboys did have the number 1 offense in the country, but Jets, with Justin Fields fully healthy, he can throw the ball. He can run the ball. It's his legs that set him apart from every other quarterback in the NFL. One of the best, if not the best, running quarterback in the NFL. Broncos come in here, 67.7% chance to win on the road. The Jets, a 32% at home. Broncos, 7-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5. This Denver team started out last season kind of slow. It wasn't until about week 5 or 6. That's when they turned the corner, when they started getting hot. Can they replicate that production this season? Started out kind of slow. They just beat the defending Super Bowl champs. Maybe they've turned that corner. They're coming back strong. They finished last year top 6 overall offense, top 5 defense. One of the most balanced offenses in the NFL, throwing the ball, running the ball. If they can replicate that production from last season, everybody better be watching out for this team. Very talented overall team. Broncos right now, 23.4 points a game. Throwing for 214.6. Running for 140.6, only giving up 16.8 points a game. They definitely have the defense, only giving up 88.4 on the ground. Their front 7 is getting after it, and you're going to need that. You are going to need discipline and edge control here versus this Jets team because they have a mobile quarterback. You need the DEs to collapse the pocket. You have to find a way to keep Justin Fields in the pocket, force him to beat you vertically with his arm. The Jets are averaging 22.4 points a game. Throwing for 170, running for 144.4. Very balanced offense, giving up 31.4 points a game. This defense is going to be very easy for the Broncos to be able to find ways to score. For Denver, they have Bo Nix, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's very efficient, very accurate with the short, intermittent passing game. You have J.K. Dobbins, 323 yards rushing, Sutton at 266 yards receiving. And for the Jets, Fields mixed with Hall on the ground, very dangerous rushing attack. That's where that Denver front 7 comes in, and they also have Garrett Wilson, 311 yards receiving. I have the Broncos holding on. They win this game, but the Jets keep it close. Broncos win 26-20. Then on Fox at 1 p.m., the 2-3 Arizona Cardinals. The big question mark here is what's the health status for Kyler Murray? He had to leave the last game, hurt his foot. We have no word yet of if he's even going to be able to start this game. If he doesn't, that's a massive loss for the Arizona Cardinals. They would be forced to have to go with Brissett. They'll be playing and visiting the 4-1 Indianapolis Colts, one of the surprise teams of this year, if not the surprise team. They've come out of nowhere. How about the play of Daniel Jones? He was cast aside by the Giants. Colts pick him up. He looks like a completely different player. The best quarterback they've had. I know the season's young, but the best quarterback they've had since the Andrew Luck days. Right now, 1,100 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's also a dual threat quarterback. He is mobile, and he runs with power. Very physical runner. He loves to put his shoulder down and just try to truck people. Right now, the Colts, they come into this matchup. They are easily the favorites. 5.5-point favorites. 47.5 over-under. The Cardinals here, 40.7% chance to win. The Colts, a 59% chance to win. You have to respect the offensive potential of the Cardinals, but that's if they can have their entire roster. They've already lost Connor. Trey Benson's banged up. They might even be down Murray. That leaves McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., but they need some consistency from the quarterback position to actually get them the ball in space. And for the Colts, Daniel Jones throwing it, running it, the power running game. You have to account for him on third and long situations, third and short situations. A lot of things can come from the quarterback position. One of the best running backs in the NFL when he's healthy. Jonathan Taylor, over 400 yards rushing. They have Warren Pierce. A lot of weapons in that wide receiver room. A lot of people that no one are talking about. Warren at the tight end too, coming up big on third down situations. As a team, the Cardinals come in this matchup. They are averaging 20.6 points a game, throwing for 170.2, running for 118.2, giving up 19.2 points a game, 254 through the air. You can gash them through the air, 92 on the ground. Solid rush defense, but the Colts are going to test you. The Colts, one of the best all-around teams so far in the NFL, 32.6 points a game, throwing for 253, running for 128.2, only giving up 17.8 points a game. They have a great offense, and they have a great defense. You cannot ask for more. Give me the Colts squeaking out the win here, though, 24-20. We will revisit this game the closer we get to start time because we want to see what the hell status is of Kyler Murray, so we're just waiting on word from that. And then on Fox at 1 p.m., the 3-2 Los Angeles Rams. This team, two losses that they probably should have won. Weird things happened. They ended up dropping them, but they are this close to being 5-0, potentially the number one team in the NFL, but that's the way football works. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce your way. They'll be on the road here versus the 1-4 Baltimore Ravens. Everything that could have gone wrong for this team has gone wrong for this team. They have 4 losses. Who would have ever thought the Baltimore Ravens, one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, to make the playoffs, make a run through the league all the way to the Super Bowl, would be sitting at 1-4. Lamar Jackson's banged up. We don't have any word yet of if he's going to be starting this game. Didn't start this past Sunday, and the Ravens got curb stomped by the worst offense in the NFL. The Texans put up a 40-burger on them. They were not able to stop. They had a really bad defense before. With an offense that's now not able to chip away and get first downs, that really bad defense is on the field the entire game. That just exasperates the problem. Ravens, if they don't have Lamar Jackson, they're definitely going to be giving up some points. They have to be prepared for a shootout, and they just don't have Cooper Rush. He's not the guy to do that. Right now, the Ravens, they come into this matchup. They are the underdogs. The Rams, 7.5-point favorites, 45.5 over-under. Rams, 51.8% chance to win. The Ravens have 47.8. The reason it's practically a 50-50 split is the fans, they're just waiting to get word on Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson plays and he truly is fully healthy, I think the Ravens will pull off the W here. But that's the big question. Will he even be playing this game? The Rams with Stafford, they are slinging it up and down the field, averaging 24.6 points a game, throwing for 289.6, one of the best, if not the number one passing offense in the NFL, running for 112.2, giving up 21.4, and the Ravens, they're averaging 28.2, one of the best offenses, throwing for 196.2, running for 115.6, but they have the dead last, the worst defense in the NFL, giving up 35.4 points per game. You can throw on them, you can run on them, you can have your will on offense because they can't stop anything right now. Without Lamar Jackson, he's a MVP award-winning quarterback. He's not just a guy that you can just go on without. They have Derrick Henry, but he's not quite having the typical Derrick Henry season. Flowers, Andrews, likely a lot of weapons, but they need the general on the field. And on the other side, Stafford, this might be his best, most efficient season. Over 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. Williams with almost 400 yards, and he also catches the ball. Nakua, deep running back room, deep wide receiver room. Nakua, he's the X factor. He can do a little bit of everything. Give me the Rams pulling off the win here, 33-20. And then 1 p.m. on Fox, the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks going on the road to Jacksonville versus the 3-1 Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, as of me making this video, the Monday night game has not happened yet, so we don't know what the outcome is for Jacksonville, but we're still going to be taking a look at this game. The Jags at home, 51.7% chance to win. The Seahawks, a 47.9%, practically a 50-50 split with the fan vote. But the Jags are also the Vegas picks. 1.5-point favorites, 44.5 over-under. The Seattle Seahawks, one of the best all-around defenses coming into Week 5. They gave up a bunch of points this past weekend. They scored a bunch of points, but uncharacteristic for the defense. They were in a shootout versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But that's what the Buccaneers do. A very gritty game. Every game is a shootout when you have Baker Mayfield. He's going to fight his way back fourth quarter. That's what happened. They fought their way back. They won it. We picked them to win, so we were not surprised. But Seattle, they want to get things back on track. They were rolling up to that point, offensively throwing the ball, running the ball, defense playing good. The Jacksonville Jaguars, what's going to happen Monday against that KC front seven? KC's goal, shut the run game down, force Trevor Lawrence into third and long situations. If they're doing that, Jacksonville may be coming in here with the loss, but there's no doubt they've been playing some really good football up to this point. Trevor Lawrence still has a lot of turnover issues. If you can get pressure on them, he tends to make errant throws, which could lead to turnovers. If you're not able to get consistent pressure on him because that line has been holding up, they've been scoring a lot of points, and their defense has also been playing really good. Looking at the overall team stats here, you have the Seahawks coming in here. They're averaging 29.2 points a game. One of the best offenses in the NFL. 245.4 passing yards, 113 rushing, giving up 21 points a game, only 83 on the ground. They're going to make life difficult to run. The Jags, 24 points a game, throwing for 204.5, running for 144. Very balanced offense, giving up 18 points a game, only 82.8. Who's going to own the line of scrimmage in this game? That's who's going to win it. For the Seahawks, Sam Darnold having a very solid season. Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, very deep running back room. They can cycle those guys out, keep the legs fresh. And Trevor Lawrence, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks. He has to keep those turnovers down. Do not give the ball back to Seattle. Travis Etienne having the best start of his career, almost 400 yards rushing. Strange. Great start to the season for him, and Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't even gotten going yet. Once he gets going, that's just another weapon for him. But I think the Seahawks, their defense will be seeking a rebound. They pull off the upset win 27-23. And at 1 p.m. on Fox, the 2-1 Dallas Cowboys, the number 1 offense in the NFL. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. They don't play defense, but they're outscoring everyone. They'll be on the road versus the 2-3 Carolina Panthers, coming off a very strong comeback win versus the Dolphins. The Panthers at 2-3, they actually picked up right where they left off to end last season. Bryce Young, a quarterback's best friend, is a consistent run game. If you get Chuba Hubbard going on the ground, that's going to open up the play action. It's going to help him immensely. Right now, the Panthers at home, 40.7% chance to win. Dallas, a 59% chance. Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites, 48.5 over-under. Looking at this Cowboys offense, 30.2 points a game, throwing for 272.2, running for 134.4. That was lacking last season. They could not run the ball. That's not a problem this year, but they are giving up 30.8 points a game. They give up a boatload of points. There will be opportunities for the Panthers to score. Carolina, 20.4 points a game, throwing for 187, running for 128, giving up 23.8 points a game. You have to remember, last season they were giving up 35 points a game. The defense, season is young, but the defense is massively improved over where it was last season. Chuba Hubbard, kind of banged up right now. He is inactive currently right now. Might not be suiting up for the Panthers. That could hold the offense back just a little bit. But Bryce Young, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, actually not playing too bad of football. CeeDee Lamb, probably not playing this game as of right now, but they still have Pickens there. They still have Williams running the ball, closing in on 500 yards on the ground. A lot of weapons for this offense. Nothing has held them back at all. Give me Dallas pulling off the win here on the road, 27-21. CBS at 1 p.m. The 1-4 Cleveland Browns. The Browns almost had the win. Dylan Gabriel getting the first start of his career. True rookie here, and they almost pulled off the W. Lost it in the last minute, but they showed a lot of fight here. The defense, they finally got the chance to rest because the offense was actually getting a couple first downs. They'll be on the road versus the well-rested, the 3-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. How about the Steelers this season? Mike Tomlin getting things back on track. They have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he definitely doesn't look like Jets Rodgers. He looks like later Green Bay Packers Aaron Rodgers. That's a good thing for you Steelers fans. Right now, 800 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 3 picks. Amazing what you can do when you actually have a competent wide receiver core. A DK Metcalf, a lot of weapons on this team, running the ball, throwing the ball. If they get that Mike Tomlin defense going, this is an underdog to potentially make a strong run towards the playoffs. Right now, the Steelers 67.3% chance to win, Cleveland a 32.4% chance. Pittsburgh, 4.5-point favorites, 38.5 over under. You never want to underestimate the Browns because they have a very good defense. Statistically, hasn't shown up yet because they're on the field the entire game. They get a lot of pressure from their defensive line. They're only averaging 14.6 points a game, so they are on the defense practically the whole game, but they probably will create some turnovers. That's what they do. Right now, the Browns throwing for 192.4, running for 95.8, giving up 24.6, only 75 on the ground. Very good defense. Steelers, 24 points a game, throwing for 183.5, rushing for 80. I want to see those rush yards get it up over 100. That's the goal here. And they're giving up 24.5 points per game. They have Gainwell, Metcalf. On the other side, Judy banged up this past game. Quinton Junkins, though, if he can have some competent quarterback play, open up those rush lanes and vice versa. Once you can run, that opens up the play action. Do whatever you need to do to score some points. But I think the Steelers are going to have enough to win the game. Close game, though. They win it 23-20. CBS at 1 p.m., the 3-2 Los Angeles Chargers coming off a loss here, a very sloppy loss. They had the game in hand first quarter, costly penalties, costing the game, cost them the momentum. They lost that one to the Commanders. Thankfully for them, they have a good chance to rebound here because they're playing the 1-4 Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are at home. When you look at the Dolphins on paper, the roster, they're strong in some places, very weak in some places. They don't have Tyreek Hill. He's their main weapon on offense. Tua, what are you going to get from Tua? Because if you're playing the Chargers here, the Chargers looking for revenge for that game, you're going to have to be prepared to potentially get into a shootout. That means that offensive line for Miami has to hold up versus a very aggressive front seven for the Chargers. Right now, LA, 64.6% chance to win. Miami, 35.1. Chargers are 5.5-point favorites, 45.5 over under. LA, Justin Herbert started out the season really hot, kind of quiet last two games, but he was showing a lot of efficiency, reliability the first 2 to 3 weeks. He's throwing for 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. Hampton banged up at the running back position. Massive loss. Still pretty deep wide receiver room. Johnson, McConkey, and on the other side, Tua, 800 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks, but he's been up and down for basically his entire career. Overthrowing guys, underthrowing guys, getting concussions nonstop. We need him to stay healthy. We need the line to buy him some time. And when the guys are open to it, you have to hit them. You cannot afford to miss them because your defense is not going to keep the game within reach. Waddle, you still have Waddle. Get the ball to your playmakers in space. McDaniels, probably feeling the heat right now, but who should really feel the heat? The guy who built this roster, the third longest tenured GM in the nation, Will Grier. What the heck has that guy been doing there? Right now for the Chargers, averaging 19.6 points a game, throwing for 235.4, running for 116.8, giving up 19.6 points a game. That a top 7 defense last season. They're going to try to get back to that. Dolphins, 21.4 points a game, throwing for 196.4, running for 82.2. That's not going to cut it. Have to get those rush yards up to about 110 to 115, and they're giving up 29 points a game. Bad tackling, bad angles. To me, the Chargers defense will be aggressive this game, but their offense is going to carry the day. I have the Chargers winning at 27-16. Then 1 p.m. on CBS, the 2-2 New England Patriots. As I mentioned when this video started, the Sunday night game is still going on. As me making this, the Patriots are up, 6-3 on the Bills right now, but there's still a lot left in that game. They'll be on the road versus the 1-4 New Orleans Saints. The Saints, they finally got their first win of the season. We were not surprised. We did call them to pull off the W there, but they beat the Giants. So yes, you have to be thankful for the win, but it was the Giants, so you don't want to take too much of it too highly. The Saints, 41.2% chance to win this game, but every win is a gift nonetheless. The Patriots, 58.8% chance to win. The Pats are 3-point favorites, 45.5 over under. I will say it like this. Drake May, a lot of hype this offseason. I said the entire time, I want to see it first to believe it. I will give him credit. The guy's been dealing this season. 1,000 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks. Stevenson running it. Got to get those rush yards up. Diggs is their primary target. The guy's a veteran. On the other side, Spencer Rattler, 800 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 picks. They got weapons. Kamara, Johnson, Cooks, Olave. There's guys there. They just need consistency from the offense. They need Spencer Rattler to be accurate in the intermittent passing game. Throws a very pretty deep ball. The Patriots, pretty good offense. 25.5 points a game. Throwing for 235, running for 101.3, giving up 20.3 points a game. How about this rush defense? 77.5 yards given up per game on the ground. That is solid. The Saints, 18.4 points a game. throwing for 190.4, running for 116.8, giving up 27 points. There will be opportunities for the Patriots to score, but you have to respect home field for the Saints. They have a rabid fan base. I think they keep it close. They got momentum coming off their first win, but I think New England coming off that offensive performance, they got the weapons. They get it done here on the road. They win a close one, 24-21. 4:05 p.m. on Fox, the 1-4 Tennessee Titans, they also got their first win of the season. Give this team a hand. They've been going through a rough patch here, and they had the number one pick. They may very well have the number one pick again next season. Cam Ward, he was finally dealing. He finally had just enough time to take one breath of air before he got sacked this game. The most sacked quarterback in NFL history through the first 4 games. If you just give him just a slight second more, they had just enough offense to get the win. They'll be on the road versus the 1-4 Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams identical records. Raiders have dropped, 4 straight games. They both want to win. They both want some type of momentum. Las Vegas, 69.3% chance to win. Tennessee, 30.5% chance. Raiders are 5.5-point favorites. 41.5 over-under. Tennessee here, one of the worst offenses in the NFL. 14.6 points a game. Throwing for 148.6. Running for 85.2. Giving up 28.2 points a game. Las Vegas, they're not much better, but they technically are better on paper. They're averaging 16.6 points a game. Throwing for 210.2. Running for 112.6. Giving up 27.8 points per game. For the Titans, Ward, Pollard, they got to do just enough on the ground to buy Cameron Ward some time, because Geno Smith, with Geno, it's a complete Jekyll Hyde thing. You don't know which version of Smith is showing up. He could have 3 touchdowns. He could have 3 picks. It will completely vary from game to game. They're coming off a game where they just got curb stomps. There's a pretty decent chance you get good Geno this game, but you don't want to rely on that. I'm going to go a little bit out on a ledge here. Give me Tennessee to pull off the upset, but we're going to revisit this game later on this week. I just want to see what some of the health status is for the teams. Give me Tennessee pulling off a close win, 20-17. And this next one, this is my type of game here. 4:25 p.m. CBS, the 4-1 San Francisco 49ers. This team, they have so many injuries this season, and still they continue to find ways to win. 4-1, playing really good football. They'll be on the road versus the 4-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pulling off the upset win this past weekend. We weren't surprised. We did call them to shoot it out and outscore the Seattle Seahawks. Tampa Bay, very gritty team. Baker Mayfield was my comeback player of the year last year. He's a gritty guy. Fourth quarter, they will fight. They will battle in the fourth. That's how they've won all 4 of their games this season, being down and just out-slugging the other team when it mattered most. The Bucs, a 48% chance to win. The 49ers, a 51.6. Practically a 50-50 split with the fans, but Vegas is going with the 49ers. They come in here 2.5-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5. This is going to be a really fun game because this is 2 teams that are finding ways to win, both battling a lot of injuries. San Francisco, they've been down throughout the season. Kittle, Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, McCaffrey's been banged up. Mac Jones filling in, though. The guy has been wheeling and dealing the entire time, but still those injuries are there. Yes, they continue to find ways to win, but at some point, it probably will catch up to them. The Bucs, the last couple weeks, they've been down. Mike Evans, who's one of the most reliable, if not the most reliable wide receiver in the NFL. Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin stepped up. Egbuka stepped up. Baker Mayfield has stepped up massively. 1,000 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. They can throw it. They can run it. Right now, the 49ers are averaging 21.2 points a game, throwing for 290.6, running for 85.2, giving up 19.6. The Bucs, 27 points a game, throwing for 243.4, running for 110.4, giving up 26.4 points a game. I'm just going to call Bucs. They do it every single fourth quarter. Give me the Bucs winning this one at home, 26-23. It's a fun one. And also on CBS at 4:25 p.m., we have 2 teams that would love to get a win here. Cincinnati without Joe Burrow. They're not the Cincinnati that you know and love. The team that gets in shootouts with everyone. One of the worst defenses there is, but they'll be fireworks because they can go blow for blow with anyone. They don't have Joe Burrow. They still have Brown, Chase, Higgins, but it's Jake Browning calling the shots, and he's not capable of getting in the shootouts. That's just not his skill set. They'll be on the road to versus the 2-1 Green Bay Packers. They were on the bye this past week, fully rested. They needed some rest after the last 2 weeks. It's been a rough last 2 weeks for them, but one of the most talented teams in the NFL. They have an 80.2% chance to win. Bengals, a 19.7% chance to win. Green Bay, 14.5-point favorites, a 49.5 over-under. Cincinnati, they're averaging 17 points a game, throwing for 171.6. Running for 57, that is not going to cut it. They have to get that up to triple digits. That's one of the worst. I think that's dead last in the NFL, and they're giving up 31.2 points a game, almost twice as many as they're scoring. Green Bay, they're averaging 26 a game, throwing for 232.8, running for 114.5, giving up 20.5 points a game, only 77.5 yards given up on the ground. It's going to be Jake Browning versus Jordan Love. Jordan Love can do a little bit of everything, 1,000 passing yards, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's not a dual threat quarterback, but he is surprisingly mobile. They have Jacobs, Kraft, Reed, a lot of weapons on this team, and they are fully rested. They should be prepared for a potential shootout here. Give me Green Bay winning this game 28-13. And on NBC at 8:20 p.m., the final Sunday night game, the 4-1 Detroit Lions. No one wants to play this team right now. When they got the crap kicked out of them week 1, I told everyone, no reason to panic. They're going to be just fine. Campbell will get this team back on track, guys. They are back on track. They have been rolling for the last 4 weeks, just curb stomping people. The number one offense in the NFL. They had the number one offense last year, 33.1 points a game. So far, they're even better this season. They're on the road here versus the 2-2 Kansas City Chiefs. The Monday night game has not happened as me making this video, so we'll have to wait to see what the outcome is of that. But I wouldn't say Kansas City is built for shootouts. They're built for close games. That's how they win. Great front seven, top 10 in sacks, tackles for a loss, quarterback pressures. They live off of getting in the backfield, creating havoc, forcing turnovers, giving the offense the short field. Now, this offense is going to be able to improve because they have Worthy back. That's a massive upgrade at the wide receiver position. That opens up the intermittent passing game because he's that deep threat. He's the guy that can stretch the field. KC, 55.1% chance to win. Detroit, 44.6% chance. Pretty close with the fans, but the Chiefs, 1.5 point favorites, 48.5 over under. When you look at this Lions offense, they are loaded. Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery, St. Brown, Lasorda. There's weapons at every single position, and they're using them. Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's the leading rusher, 130 yards through their first 4 games. That's not going to cut it. That's 35.25 yards per game. The rest of that running back room, you have to take up. Patrick Mahomes should not be leading this team running the ball. Looking at the team stats here, the Lions are averaging 34.8 points a game, throwing for 230.2, running for 134.8, giving up 22.4 points a game. KC, 24.3 points a game, throwing for 221.8, running for 110.5, but they need to spread that production out, giving up 19 points a game. 2 solid defenses. KC has the edge on defense, but Detroit definitely has the edge on offense. I think they have just enough to win this one on the road, 26-17. And moving on to our Monday night games, we actually have 2 this week, so it's going to be a fun Monday night. The very first one, 7:15 p.m. on ESPN. The 4-0 Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen won the MVP last season. The numbers he's putting up this year, he might be winning back-to-back MVP awards. This team is rolling on offense, playing good defense, so balanced on the offensive side. They'll be visiting the 2-2 Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, their potential production on offense is great. They just have to realize it, and then they have to get a consistent performance. Right now, the Falcons, 36.8% chance to win. The Bills, a 62.8% chance to win. They're also 5.5 point favorites, a 50.5 over-under. The Bills coming in here, they're just wheeling and dealing currently. Josh Allen, now this is not counting the Monday night game so far. He has 1,000 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. You also know he can change the game with his legs, and he's a powerful runner. Cook, over 400 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns. Coleman, Shakir, not a great wide receiver room, but they're all decent players who work within this scheme and system. On the other side, Penix, Bijan Robinson, Algiers. Robinson is also catching a buttload of passes. That wide receiver room, though, as a whole has to step up. The defense will give you some opportunities. We need consistency from the offense. Bills are averaging 33.3 points a game, top 3 offense. Throwing for 240.5, running for 163.5. Good production, giving up 22.5 points a game. Falcons, 19 points a game. Throwing for 226.3, running for 136.5, giving a 21.5. This is Michael Penix. You know he's a vertical, deep route passing quarterback. Let the play action, let the run game open it up. That's going to open up all those passes for you. There's no reason to force anything. But give me the Bills in that offense. There's just too much of it. They win this one 30-20. Then our final game, and this is going to be a really interesting, this is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult game to call. ABC at 8:15 p.m. The 2-2, the well-rested Chicago Bears on the road versus the 3-2 Washington Commanders. You have Jane Daniels coming back, leads his team to a victory this past weekend. He looked perfectly fine. He looked fully healthy. He was running. He was throwing. When he plays, he's one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the NFL. He's a true dual threat. He can throw for 3,500 yards. He can run for 1,000 yards. Right now, Washington, 61.3% chance to win. Chicago with 38.4% chance. Washington's 4.5 point favorites, 50.5 over under. But let's call it like this. Caleb Williams so far much improved over last season. 1,000 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's not a running quarterback, but he will scramble. If you leave it there, he'll take it. They have Swift. They have Odunze. They have Moore for Washington. They've been pretty banged up at the wide receiver position. Scary Terry may be back, may not be back, but Deebo Samuel, he's stepped in perfectly fine. Merritt at a running back. Jaden Daniels missed some time this season, but when he's on the field, a complete game changer. This could easily be a very high-scoring game. Looking at team stats, Bears 25.3 points a game, throwing for 225.8. Running for 102.3, giving up 29.3 points a game. They have some serious questions on defense, but at least they score some points. Washington, 26.8 points a game, throwing for 192.6, running for 156.4, giving up 20.2 points a game. I think this game is honestly going to go back and forth, but I think the Commanders, the experience of Daniels in these big moments. He almost took his team to the Super Bowl last season. That makes a difference fourth quarter. They win this one 28-14. Guys, that's our picks, our predictions, our best bets on every single NFL game we have coming up for Week 6 of the 2025 NFL season. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have any comments, drop them below. Do you agree, disagree? What are your thoughts on these matchups? Who do you think is going to win them? Drop it in the comment section. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment down below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. And, of course, as always, thank you for watching.